Welcome to the Boston Barrister, Kevin Patrick Seaver, bringing you insights about your family and the world.
Welcome to the Boston Barrister. My name is Kevin Patrick Seaver, located in, of course, Boston, Massachusetts. Today's episode is going to be about the good, bad, and the ugly of that monster called AI, artificial intelligence. Two teenage boys in Lancaster, Pennsylvania recently used artificial intelligence, AI, to create fake nude images of their classmates. They took the pictures of their classmates through various mechanisms, such as their yearbook. They took their pictures from FaceTime and photos that they took, and they added the nude fake photos to their images, their face. The judge in the case ordered that these two boys, 14 years old at the time, serve probation. The judge was very clear that they were adults, they would be going to jail. In a very highly unusual move, the judge allowed the community to come into the court and hear the proceedings. Over 100 students and parents from the school in Pennsylvania, where these two boys attended, showed up and gave statements to the judge. The students who testified in front of the judge told about how traumatizing these nude fake photos were on their lives. Not only how traumatizing it was to them then as well as now when they testified, but what does the future behold? Because once you open up the barn door and the horses get out, where are these pictures now? Disseminated throughout the internet? Who knows? The scary part is that these young women, teenagers, what happens in 10 or 15 or 20 years from now when they have jobs or families or professional careers, and these pictures just seem to reappear? The problem with that, it could destroy a family, career, reputation, and the beat goes on. Now, this story doesn't end here, because there will be, after this criminal case, which the evidentiary standard is beyond a reasonable doubt, then you will have a civil case for monetary damages. And the attorneys have already stated for the victims, they will be filing such ASAP. But all the money in the world and all the therapy in the world is not going to solve the problem of this good, bad, or indifferent monster called AI, artificial intelligence. The school where this transpired was a very exclusive private school with 12 students in a class where everybody knew each other. Students testified at court that some of their fellow students have already left this school, obviously for good reason. And what did the school officials do, which may put them on the hook when they first learned of this? The other issue is that what's this do to a parent? And what can the parents do when you've got a child who has nude photographs that are fake out there on the internet? So this doesn't just affect these students who had nude fake photographs attached to their face. It also affects the school. What did they do? It also affects the parents. What do they now do? And obviously one is going to be to seek monetary damages in a civil lawsuit. But how do you get the therapy, the proper therapy, to help these young ladies through this traumatic period in their life? And I don't think anyone would be surprised if this disintegrates and destroys some of these families, including the two young people who did this deed. So what can come out of this can really be damaging. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because this is not just happening in just Lancaster, Pennsylvania. This is going down in every state, city, town in the great United States of America. It doesn't stop here. This is going to affect and has affected the entire world. And what's truly scary is that where does this start and when does it end? And will it ever end? And these two teenagers got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, or I should say with the fake nude photos. But how many other people are out there? And you may be asking yourself, well, Attorney Seaver, how many images were there? The two boys stated they put up 350 images. I give pause for thought, though. How do we know, first of all, they're telling the truth and there's not so many more? And the answer is we don't. And when we do find out, it's going to re-traumatize not only these young ladies, but also their parents and ruin so many lives. There were 59 young ladies under the age of 18. It begs the question, how many other victims by these two teenagers have been identified? The two teenagers admitted they did these pictures, fake nudes, in 2023 and 2024. So again, this begs another question. What have they been doing since, and to whom? Because you don't think, even for a moment, that they all of a sudden just stopped doing these fake nudes. These two young people also had adult pictures of adults conducting themselves in sexual activities. These young ladies had to identify their faces on the fake nude bodies to detectives so that charges could be pressed criminally against these two young people. How difficult must that have been? And of course, these children don't drive, so who took them to be with these detectives? Obviously, their parents. And they too had to look at these pictures, which certainly would have been traumatizing. Juvenile cases in Pennsylvania are normally, as they are in the other 49 states, including Massachusetts here, closed to the public. Again, this case was opened by the judge, giving an unusual opportunity for the public to see a juvenile court case and its transparency, live and in person. These young ladies described anxiety attacks, loss of trust, difficulties focusing on schoolwork, the fear of the future that these images are going to resurface again and again and again. One of the victims called the incident and those that participated in it sick, twisted, and perverted. One of the victims described to the judge that it destroyed her innocence. There remains very interesting underlying legal issues to be decided in a different case. The judge in the case ordered a 2-year probation, that the two boys have no contact with any of the victims, and perform 60 hours of community service. They were also told to pay an unspecified amount of money for restitution. If the two boys don't have any additional legal problems moving forward, the case can be expunged after 2 years. I wish I could say the same about the fake nude pictures for these young ladies who have been victimized, because they can't be erased. If they've been sent out over the internet, they'll be there forever. This is truly a sad case. There's no winners here. It's all lose, lose, lose. 46 states have laws dealing with digital altered images of people called deepfakes. Legislation has been introduced in the other 4 states, which is Alaska, Missouri, New Mexico, and Ohio, to deal with the deepfakes, which includes video or images.